Welcome back everybody to more Heroes of the Storm action here on Khaldor TV, and we have more ESL Major League content. We have the match between ESC and LDLC, the German team against the Spanish team, and it's once again like this setup that we have for both of the teams. So one of the teams starts to run an Illidan composition, and it becomes so much more popular these days to go into a double healer comp against that, and that's exactly what LDLC is trying to do. They already saw that ESC was trying to set up that Illidan comp, and they immediately reacted with the double healer. And of course, if you go into a hero like Brightwing, it gives you a lot of control against Illidan, and this is something that they're trying out here. And LDLC, of course, very accomplished and strong team, but ESC, I want to say, they're the young generation of Heroes of the Storm players and are jumping in, and they are of course going to try to make a bit of a dent into the confidence of the Spanish top team. So we're going to go into game number 1 here at the ESL Major League and find out which team is going to take it. Is it going to be LDLC or is it going to be ESC Gaming? Game on at the ESL Major League between ESC Gaming and LDLC. To the left side of the map of Garden of Terror, our first map in the best of 3 series here at the day. We have Nepse on Uther, we have Invidium on Sylvanas, Snow on Illidan, Get Am Het, mit der Kuschelecke of Zagara, and Antihero is playing Chen. To the right side of the map for LDLC, the Spanish team with Vipolino on ETC, Alastor on Jaina, Lolver60 playing with Vala, Hiruke on Brightwing, and Polato on Malfurion. So you can already tell we have a double healer comp against Illidan, and this is something that you see a bit more often these days, and it's actually pretty cool. We're having in this case then of course not only Malfurion, the old guy with the arthritis in the hands who always like shakes when you select him in the selection screen, but instead we also have good old Brightwing with his polymorph, Creepwing with his friend the entire time. Every single time I hear that I just want to like choke him. That aside, we're having with Zagara great control on the maps. At least that's one of the things that especially ESC is aiming for in most of their games. If you watch a couple of their matches just recently in tournaments like the Zotic Cup or the Go for Heroes tournament, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. They really love to play the hero. It's one of their priority picks, and they always make sure that they have the most annoying creep spell on the map, which gives them incredible vision and then also allows them to really control the objectives. And Gad is already trying to make sure that they have perfect vision of what's happening here at the top lane. Looking at the mid lane, we're having Illidan going up against Hiruke in this case, so Illidan versus Brightwing. We have down into the bot lane Antihero and Vipolino going up against each other. ETC Master Skin, this time in white. And yeah, at the top there's already started to push with Get Am Het here. So we have him on level 1 with Reconstitution. Pretty much a standard talent for Zagara these days. We're seeing in talents mostly what you would expect. It's a little bit interesting to see that we are not having... Well, we have a jumper comp with Illidan. I guess we should talk about that for a second. But first of all, we have a lockdown with the roots on Nepse as Malfurion is moving in, but Snow already jumped in from the mid lane, and suddenly Hiruke is in trouble, heals himself, speeds himself up, but gets annihilated. The first blood in favor of ESC Gaming. Job well done. And coming back to my train of thought, I was at first a bit surprised to see a hero like Chen in the lineup of ESC, considering that they play with Zagara, which is great for the Maw, and usually you see that as a setup for an immediate apocalypse. In this game though that doesn't happen, but we have Chen taken. And the cool thing about Chen is that, yeah, well, you can jump in with Illidan together, and yeah, that is always pretty cool because you have 2 heroes destroying the backline of your opponent. I learn new things about Chen these days. I watched Tazdingo's stream. He's one of the Nihilum players, formerly Team Kick, and he was playing on Chen the other day, and I actually saw him die several times on Chen, and I didn't know that Chen could die before I saw that. So shout out to Tazdingo here, kappa kappa kappa. Antihero already Apparently Tazdingo is not the only one who manages to die on Chen. Chen already dead, the second kill in the game. And I mean, if you like, Chen is one of those heroes, like we're oftentimes joking that you can't really kill Chen. That stupid old panda, every single time you think, okay, now finally I got him, then suddenly he just starts drinking, and for some reason drinking doesn't destroy his liver and his body, instead it heals him up. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I'm not quite sure what exactly is in that keg, but they're always talking about ale, so I suppose that's what it is, but it must be some kind of like miracle potion as with Asterix, because for some reason he always starts to survive in those scenarios. As it is, though, we're having with the level 7 talents, that's when we're gonna see if Zagara goes for the Endless Creep, which we oftentimes see taken from them. On level 4, it is still Envenomed Spines. Both of the teams are currently on level 6, and you can see that it's so far not really an even split on the seeds. We have ESC catching one additional small camp, but now the top one has already been claimed by LDLC. The Spanish team starting to rotate to the bottom, and, well, we have Jaina getting the extra experience at the top lane, but the rest of the teams are just starting to rotate. Nice banelings there, but can they really take those seeds? It looks like they can. Yeah, Polato and his boys are a bit too late for that. Having on Jaina Arcane Intellect over Envenom and Snowstorm taken, as Brightwing went on level 4, not into a protective shield, but into Envenom. Interesting. So Brightwing apparently, well, he's apparently a bit aggressive today and wants to go straight for that and put some damage into it. Up to the top lane, now that we have level 7, there it is, Endless Creep chosen. We're having, besides that, Brewmaster's Balance, of course, on Chen. We have Swift Reflexes on level 4, the Regeneration Master on 1, and Polator. Oh, there we go, Hot Pursuit taken on Vala. I really like that we're having so many different builds on Vala right now. She's still one of the heroes that you see extremely often, but at level 7 most of the players go for searing attacks. That even brought a Dignitas player into a style where he starts using on level 4 instead of the grenades simply Manticore. But on level 7 in this case we're having Hot Pursuit. So it's really cool to just see that depending on the personal preference that you run with, you're just gonna go for a bit of a different move there. So right now we're having, well, to the bot lane, Snow, an anti-hero with a plant, and of course the Panda starting to push that in. Both of the teams really just try to soak as much experience as they can, and this is one of the main things that you need to do when you start with Heroes of the Storm. You need to make sure that until level 10 at least, you always soak EXP. Objectives are of course important, but normally the teams don't rotate heroes away from the lanes until their opponents do exactly the same, so that they don't fall behind in EXP. And this is one of the key things to really keep in mind when you're playing Heroes of the Storm. And one of the probably biggest mistakes that new players make, that they value objectives too highly at some point and then fall behind 1 or 2 levels and are surprised that they are not able to win any fights then later on. So the mid lane already taken apart, at least that wall, and there we have Snow moving in again. He has another couple of seconds left, and that's enough for a pot to be dropped. And together with Get here, they can start to push that in now as well. So that's happening. Down goes the tower. Well, at least about to. Oh, Polata eating that blizzard again. Bot lane, that's where we still have anti-hero. In terms of experience, it's really much the same. We have 1 killer versus a kill. Both teams doing an incredible job soaking the waves on the lanes. Down to the bot lane, we're currently seeing Divine Shield taken, Wailing Arrow. We have Demonic Form, Maw, and the Kek, as we are seeing the heroics coming into play for the opponent's team. Ooh, there it goes! Oh, the steal! They get it! They get the cam. The German boys are getting it, and the Maw is blocking ETC, and Vippolino is like, what the hell? Oh, Malfurion dead, and that's bad news. 2 healers dead, Jaina dead, Vippolino dead. Oh, ESC, they jump in. The German team goes straight for it, and they take their kills here. Wow, alright. So in this case, they are actually taking the fort at the top lane now. We have Antihero and Snow in the mid lane doing their thing now as well, and starting to push maybe even a second 4 in. Level 11 versus 12. It's not really a massive lead when it comes to talent or anything, but it's just like that additional stat gain that you get. And of course also the vision. I mean, just look at the vision on the map. Get here just pushing out those tumors. I mean, Zagara is not doing anything else here. Like, that Endless Creep talent is really helping out a lot. And here comes Invidium doing his thing. Follow through in level 7 instead of the Poisonous Arrow. Pretty much what you would expect with the comp that they are running here. But still, having at the bot lane, Get had split from the rest of the team down here. So he needs to rotate around and make sure that they're getting in position. It's also pretty cool to see that we're still having like full heal build on Brightwing and Malfurion. If you're in a situation where you run double healer, you can always think about going into utility talents for one of them. So we could have seen maybe Emerald Wind or Silence taken, but both of them decided to just go for the mass heal out the damage that especially Illidan deals out, and then go for the lockdown with Polymorph. That's of course where level 16 is going to become extremely important for Team LDLC. The Spanish team will rely on Criterize a lot if they want to drop a hero, but now they're getting dropped. Hiruk is trying to escape with a nice Blink Whale here, going for the Jukes, Polymorph as well. The rest of the team is moving in, but they are too late, or are they? Brightwing, the shield! Wow, that's safe. That's safe. Hiruka just showing his skills. That little show off there. Jumps with a blink heal once, twice, jukes around, dodges, gets his own shield in, and it gets the shield from a Fury in and gets his heals in. Yeah, that was really well done. That was really well done. Good job here by Hiruka. He's very, very good with that hero. Vipolino is starting to move in with a plant. This is one of those plant-for-plant battles that we're now seeing. And this is, of course, what it's oftentimes all about on this map, that you're always getting a plant when your opponent has one too. Get him head moving right into the polymorph seed. And there comes that additional pot. Nice positioning here. Just zoning them out so that it gets a bit more damage in. But the level 13 talent is now hitting for ESC. And that puts Spell Shield into the hands of Uther. So talent becomes more and more popular on the hero. Oh, and there comes the anti-hero jumping in. But they need to be careful there. It's a plant for a plant. And Snow is using the one for Team ESC. They have no Illidan right now. Vipolino, on the other hand, is of course missing for his own team. He was playing, or he is playing ETC, and therefore, yeah, ESC is not playing ETC, it's LDLC that are running ETC in this game. Just saying, just so that there's no confusion about which team is running ETC. It's ESC, not LDLC, just as a side note. Plants are running in right now, and again, it's just like you try to stay away from them as much as possible, and it's more about the polymorph seeds than anything else. If you get one or two polymorphs on the opponent, then there's always an opportunity for you to jump in. And they're already rotating around. The plant is nearly down for LDLC here, and we're having at the bot lane ETC now going straight for another seed there. Bam! Ford is gone, and still no 13 talents for the Spanish team. They are moving back with Polaton, Lolvers, 60, retreating for now, but this is getting very, very nasty. I mean, this is like the worst case scenario right now. There's another pod and a polymorph seed. They're moving in already. The damage against Lolvers, 60. This is bad news. Still no 13 talent. And now Sylvanas is coming in with the Shadow Dagger, disabling the first towers. They're just pushing everything back. Brightwing going for split push experience behind all of this, trying to save himself with a quick phase shift, jumping in now. And yeah, we're having him here with Ice Block. We're seeing also the full heal build on Malfurion, with him going for Enduring Growth and Life Seed on his 7 and 13 talent. And also Sylvanas with improved Ice Block in this case. It's interesting actually to see that, especially in the Korean meta apparently right now, the phase shield that you're seeing on Brightwing is highly valued. Oh, Polator needs maybe to use an Ice Block here. Tranquility already used. Vipolino. Oh, what a great silence! Oh, Jaina already down, but with a really, really nice Rain of Vengeance from Lolver 60. They might be able to at least get one kill in, but it doesn't really look like it, does it? Not enough damage on the team. One hero already dead, and at this point ESC just moving back here. ETC also moving back, but into the other direction. And now that the night approaches again, night falls and seeds on the map, and of course in a 5 versus 4 situation, this is a great spot for ESC to be in. I mean, they can move in, get those seeds now. They need quite a few, and they're gonna try and get those as fast as they can. They had an extra plant earlier, and that helped them. At this point, the bot lane, oh, there are 2 heroes already, a third one coming in. Anti-hero is still there, and Chen doesn't care. Chen does not care at all. Well, at least he didn't, and then there was suddenly a 4th hero as well. He's already jumping in, he's kegging them away! LOL versus 60 is so low on his Vala. Runs straight into that damage, and still Hiruka with the Ice Block keeping himself alive. Invido moving back, and they all survive. Not a single kill just yet, but 13 versus, in just a few seconds, 16. And that will put the additional talent into the hands of Team ESC Gaming. And they could run with that. We're having down here now a move straight to the well, trying to get the mana and the hit points up. Again, the fight for the plant happening. And here comes the 16 talent. Benediction, double blood for blood. The second hunter killer talent on Zagara. And next to a pressure point now taken next to Relentless. So far, so good. And they claim the plant. They claim the plant, and they will rotate to the top. And it helped, of course, that the mid lane was pushed by a Siege Giant camp at the same time. So that LDLC had to rotate towards the mid lane first and couldn't really just go up to the top lane to claim the seats on their own. So we have one plant already growing for Team ESC, and now we're seeing them potentially not going into a second plant, but taking all those seeds away, and with that, that would be amazing for them, since they just deny them to their opponent. It would be a plant for them, no plant for LDLC, and that's always great because you are in a spot where you pressure your opponent and you have the 16 talent as well, this is really good for them right now, and that's exactly what they're trying. Probably even gonna start a few camps before that, one of them already taken up over here, and we could see one down to the bottom lane, maybe started before the plant is claimed to. Nope, he goes straight for it. So the extra talent, the one level lead, I should probably say. Yep, 16 versus 15. So nominal it's only one level, even though it's a bit more, but well, the stats only come into play, of course, at the full level. So in this case, they are starting to move towards the mid lane with 4 heroes. The plant is joining up with them. We have nice double split push, by the way. Vipolino and also Hiruka trying to get the experience for level 16. These split pushes are actually really, really nice. The mobility that you have on the map is pretty cool. The problem for them really that we have with the video, with the plant, with Sylvanas, with everything here, so much potential, and 16 is still not there. Up to the point where they can jump in, we'll most likely see that Keep die already. And they are going straight for that. There's the 16. They're jumping in. ETC is waiting. He's waiting. He's like Chuck Norris here. He's not sleeping, he's waiting. He's not AFK or anything, guys. He's really waiting. He's waiting to jump in with his stage dive, and yeah. ETC is the Chuck Norris of Heroes of the Storm, just not as hairy. Now we're having the keep about... Yeah, ETC is not jumping in for some reason. He does his own thing. Like, he's his own one-man army, and he's showing that right now. Vipolino up at the top. Now he's moving back again, so apparently he wants to join up with the rest of the team regardless. He's a little bit indecisive, isn't he? Walking back, walking forth. Now he's trying to get the more experience. They are still nearly 2 levels behind. I mean, with all these structures dropping right now, this is getting a bit nasty, I want to say, because it's so much experience that ends up in the hands of ESC Gaming, and they are playing this calm and collected, very patient. They get the damage in, they move back. Criterize on level 16 now on the side of team LDLC. We have in the Northern Exposure, Blood for Blood, Hardened Focus on Malfurion, which is going to help him to increase his heal numbers. Talking about heal numbers, let's have a look at those. 26,000 and 23,000, and Uther just has 18,000. Nepsa, I'm disappointed, Nepsa. Well, on the other hand, you could always like say that there was just not more to heal. So, yep. No, but like the heal is real on the side of team, on the Spanish team. But they're jumping in with the ETC right now. This time they want to fight and they're going for it. That water elemental is already down, and that control that it gives you is therefore eliminated. A good root, but not enough, and that hit way too late, that Blizzard. A great Wailing Arrow though, slowing them down and also, of course, silencing them. Vipolino is low. Vipolino is low. ETC is getting healed and healed and healed, and for some reason he just doesn't die. And as I say, he finally drops. The cow is dead. Oh, anti-hero dies too, though. The tanks are down. All about damage in the heals right now. And Nepse is on the retreat. He's actually extremely low on his Uther. And in comes LoL vs 60. Hiruka, they're jumping in. LoL vs 60 with another bolt. Forward and the drop against Uther. The heal is gone. Here comes the slow with a multi-shot. And get hit. Well, there we have him die as well. Alright. This might be the start of a comeback. Is that really where they are starting to come back and turn things around? That Criterize, of course, really helps on the polymorph. And once again, one of the things that we really need here, well, one of the things that, well, I don't think we need that, but I feel that LDLC really needs it. What they could really use is the level 20 with a double polymorph on the side of Hiruka for his... yeah, the rewind. Like, rewind with the double polymorph. That's what would be amazing for them. And yeah, that would be pretty cool. I mean, right now, with a Hardened Shield also on ETC, like, oh boy, that guy is already pretty difficult to drop, especially, of course, when you are running imposing presence. The right-click heroes can't really focus you. At the same time, you have 2 healers behind you with additional shield, like what you can do. If you have a Hardened Shield as well, like, who is going to take down the cow? Everybody is going to switch to pork, because there's not going to be any beef on the table. We have up at the top lane, Hiruka trying to close that tiny gap in experience. And LDLC, they are doing well. I mean, so far, Team ESC Gaming has been dominant in this series, but that last fight and that turnaround really started to tilt the scales a bit. Now suddenly we're having 4 kills against 7. Knight is approaching again. There comes the plant moving in. We have 1 growing for the opponent's team, so both of them are running with the plant once more. And Vito and Anti-Hero, they're going straight for the deep push here. Snow doesn't even have to use the abilities of the plant for that. Doesn't even have to drop the pot, but they're trying to go for the extra seeds, aren't they? They are already. The polymorph seeds are in play, but that's a very, very bad spot to fight, and they are moving back already. The German team, that is. The Spaniards, on the other hand, they are taking position at the plant. That's a really good spot to be in. Once again, a great polymorph seed. Get Amhead running right into it. And then comes the second one. They're jumping. Polator though. Uh-oh. Polator gets hit in the face by the plant, and that doesn't really feel too good. Yeah, Alistar already with the block, with Ice Block here. Oh, the Keg anti-hero is trying to just isolate one or two of them. Doesn't really get that done though. Polator with Tranquility. A lot of the heroics are already out. Gadamhead didn't use more yet. And well, there it is. Just as I say it, we're having still a couple of blinks here available on Brightwing, and he could use those. Uther is already dead. Neps is not making it. And Anti-Hero, wow. First of all, Anti-Hero low, and then we're seeing Zagara die here. Anti-Hero is trying to get away. Lolver60 with another slow. They're trying to drop snow out of the plant, and if he dies here, that would be horrible. And yes, oh, he saves his. Oh, what? Wow, he gets away, but that was a close one. That last second metamorphosis, but we have level 20 talents now on the side of LDLC. The Spanish team with so much momentum right now. Like sharks, they smell blood in the water and they go straight for their defenseless prey, trying to go for that keep. They lost the keep on their own already, and they're dropping one of Team ESC Gaming with ease. A double Bolt of the Storm. They completely ignored the fort here. They're like, what? Let's just go straight for that keep and drop that. We're going to take that other thing on the way back, and that's what they do. They have them with a double Storm Shield. So much survivability. Like, how do you kill these guys? Think about it. A full heal build on Malfurion, and a heal build also on the side of Brightwing. And then you have a double Storm Shield. You have Hardened Shield on ETC. How do you kill that? Like, how do you get the damage into that? It's insane. And at this point, at least Hardened Shield also on the side of Chen, since he picks up his level 20 talent. The Redemption on Uther. Neps are thinking about, what am I going to take here? Actually dying a lot, so let's go for Redemption. And he died twice, as did Chen and also Zagara, since they didn't have any heal after Neps died. So at this point, we're having Deafening Blast in, and this is starting to look a bit nasty for ESC. I mean, the focus on Uther, like, all jokes aside, I mean, even with the spell shield, Neps had a lot of trouble keeping himself alive in those fights, and once that the healer, the sole healer of the team is down, the rest has to retreat. You can't fight that without a healer there, without the Divine Shield, without all these things that you really want to rely upon. The rotation to the bot lane, let's see if ESC Gaming is going to be fast enough to make that work. Doesn't really look like it. ESC wants to win that fight. The next team to win a fight is very, very likely to take it here. Look at that heal. That's 100,000 heal against 30,000, just to give you a bit of an idea and a comparison here. All that damage that ESC was dishing out healed up immediately. Look at the hero damage. Look at the hero damage numbers here. Alright, that's basically 3 heroes that are completely negated by those 2 healers. That's basically what happens here. 7 kills versus 6, 21 versus 20 the levels. The push at the top lane, all lined up. There's a lot of experience, and Nepsa shoots his kills in right there, trying to take it. This is pretty nasty here right now. I mean, at this point, we're having position taken again by the Spanish team. They're going straight for it. That white Cyberwolf that Vipolino is sporting here is, by the way, absolutely amazing. I really love that. That's the gold Cyberwolf, and it's a tint for it. Not really willing to get myself a gold Cyberwolf, and I would probably not run it with ETC, but I have to say that from all the Cyberwolves, this is probably the best one. Like, hands down. This is now all about the next fight, the next battle. If you can win that, and if you have a decisive victory in one of the next team fights, you can barrel down the mid lane and take it. And we are going to see the next battle either when the seeds appear on the map, if the teams decide to go for the same ones, or when the 2 plans are active. Because, well, let's face it, LDLC is definitely going to get one. They have 97 seats already, 23 on the side of ESC with a trap here. Both of them just lying in wait. But yeah, they're just waiting for the next knight to approach. These lazy, lazy scumbags. Joking. I mean, right now, you can really... I mean, this is the... Think about it. If you're in this spot, it's the first game in the best of 3 series, right? And you know that the next fight can take you down. If you move out on the map and you get trapped, one of your heroes gets isolated, you run into a bush and there's the opponent's team waiting, and you lose one hero, the game could be over. So all of them are absolutely scared right now. There are not a whole lot of vision talents for them ready. And that's a big problem for them, because they can't just like simply go somewhere and drop a far sight, for example. There's no Rhaegar in this game. So without that happening, without clairvoyance in the game right now for them, they can't really get any vision. They just need to use their spells for that. And that also, of course, then eliminates the cooldown. So this being said, they have to be super careful of where they move, and they've been very, very patient. There, they see them. Okay, and they move back. It's a bit of a game of chicken that they're playing now. And it's going to end now. Now that the plants are there, that's where we are going to see the action. This is where the action is going to happen. Up to the top, we're having them yeah, that's the first plant already. And this one has, of course, a 60. So that means that ESC is going to get one as well. They're going to have one plant for each one of the teams. And, well, LDLC doesn't even have to bother to go for the next small camp or go for the big garden terror, because right now they already have the seeds that they need. But for the next wave, that's going to be important. 24 minutes into the game, and this is going to be one of the most decisive moments. Vipolino is already on the way. He's already on the way. They're claiming all of the seats up at the top. Oh, and ESC, are they going for the attempted backdoor to force them back? That wouldn't be a bad move, because right now that plant can't TP. So they would fight without that plant. The plant is moving in. Yes, they're going for the backdoor. They're going straight for the keep down to the bot lane. And they're going to get it. They're going to get that with ease. Here comes the TP, and that isolates the two plants right now. So here comes... the slow is there. The slow is there. They get the slow. Malfurion with a root attempt. Doesn't get it, though. Lolver 60 through that Hunter Killer is already down half health. And we're having them with an immediate attempt to just heal that up. But here comes Anti-Hero, and that plant is far, far away. This is a bad spot for LDLC to be in. They don't have the plant, and that is not good news. Plant is on the way. Here comes a good silence with a deafening blast. Oh, triple hit! Triple hit thanks to the Rain of Vengeance. The ball, they're just going for it. They're just going for it. They're going full YOLO, and they're going to drop it, aren't they? 3 of the heroes are down, but the plant is still alive. And Illidan is alive too, and this is it. Game number 1 ending in the... Oh god, ESC Gaming, they take game number 1 in the best of 3 series here with a backdoor move against LDLC.
And the match on Garden of Terror ends in favor of ESC Gaming, taking down the Spanish team. Very well played by them, and the Illidan comp really prevailing here. So LDLC trying, but not really getting a good hold on what ESC Gaming was doing here. They are down 1 game in the series. The German team is ahead. We're going to jump into the second map now, Cursed Hollow, where we actually see... yeah, Stitches coming back into play. So it's pretty cool that Stitches is starting to make a bit of a reappearance. A lot of the tanks that we haven't seen in the last few weeks actually get picked again in the draft, which is absolutely awesome. And LDLC, they need a win now. They need a win here on Cursed Hollow. If they lose this map, then they go out of the, well, not of the ESL Major League just yet, but of course that series would already be a big loss for them, and you don't want to fall behind in the rankings. So we're going to go into the game on Cursed Hollow right now to find out if LDLC can bounce back.
A second game between ESC and LDLC. A lot of C's here, and we have also a lot of action, at least we had in the first game, and a great decision and the last second before the last fight on the side of ESC gave them the lead in the best of 3 series. Now on map number 2, Cursed Hollow, we have Alastor to the left side for LDLC, the Spanish team on Sergeant Hammer. LOL versus XD is playing Vala, Vipolino etc, Polato on Uther, and a second healer again with Farouk on Malfurion. To the right side of the map, it is Inviduum on Sylvanas, Nepse on Brightwing, Gedamhead on Tyrande, Snow on Jaina, and Anti-Hero on Stitches. I really like that build. It's actually funny because ESC played Stitches some time ago, and it was not really because they wanted to. They were kind of forced into it, since I think ETC back then was banned and Diablo, and the opponent already took, I feel it was Chen or Arthas, and they had a couple of choices left, but they had a very similar build than the one that they're running right now. Not the same one, mind you, but a similar one, and they just decided to go straight for that burst damage again. Back in the days, like, what was always happening is that Stitches compositions were always like centering around the idea of using Tyrande together with Stitches, getting the hook in, and then using the stun on Tyrande as well as the Hunter's Mark and burst the target down. And oftentimes, that was the attempt already, and Alastor on his Sergeant Hammer just barely moved away in the last second. But now that Jaina got a burst in, or like a damage burst in general on all of her abilities, this is actually a great composition to have. And I was like talking today and a couple of days ago already on the stream about how I think that Stitches is underplayed right now. I don't really think that he's like the best tank in this patch, but I think that he doesn't really get enough attention considering what he can do, and that what the original idea was behind him is still in effect, getting a target hooked in and dropping it. And if Antihero does a good job there, especially Alistar and Sergeant Hammer is going to have a very, very tough time. The tri-lane at the bot is of course the one where we are going to focus all of our attention upon. And having to the top lane, the two healers are going up against each other. Nobody should die there. And in the mid lane, it's Vipilino against Inviduum. Inviduum getting that guitar right into the face a couple of times, but I don't think he's going to die here anytime soon either. In terms of the talents we're having on Stitches, of course, Chew Your Food on level 1. We're going to see on level 4 the Amplified Healing, and then on level 7 it's mostly Tenderizer that you will be dealing with. With ETC, we have an interesting choice. Yep, and there it is. Goodbye! There goes Sergeant Hammer. That's exactly one of the reasons why I found it a bit weird to see Sergeant Hammer taking over heroes that have an escape skill after Stitches was already picked for ESC. The LDLC loses the first hero at the beginning of the game. But yeah, the scouting drone on ETC is a bit more popular these days, and it of course provides great vision for you. And if you're up against an opponent that has a Tyrande that through the owl is able to get the vision in, that's not too bad. Double Envenom. Somebody is going for damage here. Look at that, not even trying to go for a protective shield in this case. Amplified Healing taken, Arcane Intellect after Deep Chill. On the side of their opponents, we're seeing again that mass healer build. I mean, just look at that. In the last game already, they healed out so much, and this time they're going for protective shield twice already, with a Conjurer's Pursuit on each one of these heroes. One hero down in the bot lane against Alistar. Well, there comes Snow. They're going to try and get the kill there, as the tribute ends up in the hands of ESC already. And of course with that Envenom, it's always tricky. That scouting drone is amazing. If you're up against a roaming squad like what we could see... Oh boy! But there's no Tyrande, but that hook, wow. That went through the wall. Having those scouting drones can be just amazing if you're up against a team that runs a roaming squad. And you can always see ETC and Tyrande roaming on this map. So you want to make sure that you know exactly where they are. If you don't get that information, then you might just lose a hero because of that. So here comes Hiruka and LOL vs 6D moving in already with a bit of damage. Get Up Head is there. Can start to heal out. Tyrande doing... Oh, LOL vs 6D. Fast on the keyboard. That was a close one. If he dies there, that would be bad for them. If he dies anywhere, that would be bad. But in this case, it would have been even more important because the tri-lane, of course, then it's going to shift a lot in favor of ESC as they rotate to tribute again. How did he curve that around the creeps? Like, how did that work? He must have watched one a couple of times. I mean, in one he curved the bullets, but he curved the hook around the creep somehow, and I don't know how he did it, but it was pretty impressive. Hiruka there eating a lot of damage, that Blizzard also hurting a lot, and so far you can really tell that in those fights with all the zoning that we're seeing for ESC, they're just taking tribute after tribute. They don't even lose out too much on experience. They go up to the top lane again. They are a tiny bit behind in the level 7 talent, but I mean, let's be honest about that. Who really cares about that? If you are able to keep up with experience just roughly, then you are in a pretty nice position. Especially, of course, when you have the level 10 talents coming in and the third tribute for the curse. There's already the Gust of Healing, follow through, battle momentum on Tyrande, very popular these days. Tenderizer taken here now together with Frostbitten. And we have the Hot Pursuit on Vala, which we already saw in the last game. We have Boozer Camp taken. I guess both of the teams are going to go for that, since Snow and Get 'em Head are always already rotating towards their own. So pretty normal build so far, besides the things that we pointed out at the beginning of the game. Bribe is actually one of those talents that you don't see all that often anymore either, so it's not as common as it was before. Usually it was always like Bribe. Bribe was like the talent. You had double Bribe with Falstad and Brightwing. Falstad flying to a Boozer Camp, Brightwing jumping in with a phase shift, and then just like double bribing it. It was pretty fun to see that, but that kind of fell off a lot already. In this case now we're having level 8 for both of the teams. Right now Antihero not even looking for a hook too much. We have the rest of his team just in the mid lane. They of course have to make sure, Guido is just disabling everything, and Sylvana's doing very well with that. over there. Yeah, Nepse is getting that bribe in. That's exactly the problem that you have there, and is now moving back. So those siege giants have to be dealt with at some point, and they are really annoying. It's also good timing for them, since they, in addition to that, have a bruiser camp pushing the mid lane up to the top. Brightwing is getting the experience again, and they are starting to take a lead. Lolver 60 had to move up against that, and look who's dead again against another hook. It's Sergeant Hammer. Again, I have to say once more, yes, Hammer is a great hero, I like him, but not against the Stitches composition like that. That last pick, that showed a lot of confidence into Alistar to play Sergeant Hammer, but if you're up against Tyrande, Stitches, and Jaina, Hammer is not easy to keep alive. Oh, neither is ETC apparently. They kill him, they have level 10 easily already. Emerald Wind picked on Brightwing, the Wailing Arrow, Starfall, Putrid Bile, and Summoning the Water Elemental. But yeah, this is starting to get nasty, especially since we have the tribute now at the bottom of the map, which is a bit unfortunate for them, I want to say. And apparently they just give up the tribute and go instead for the boss here. Neps is chasing Polato away. That looked a bit awkward for a second. Anti-hero is already trying to get a hook in against Alistar again. He could actually do that. He had a chance there. I guess he must have been in cooldown. There comes the hook. Just baiting that out and making sure that they're losing time doing it as the boss is now taken. ESC gave up the last tribute. So, in case you were wondering why they don't really contest it, they had 2 tributes already. They knew that their opponent didn't really get a chance there to, like, curse them, so they just gave up 2 of the tributes and said, like, alright, we're gonna do that right now, give them up, take the boss instead, and get a good position on the map. And that boss is pushing the top lane pretty harshly. And now they're trying to get another boss down to the bot lane, where Alistar, oh, he activated thrusters already. That could be a pretty bad spot for him to be in. If you don't have the thrusters, you have no chance to get away from the Stitches once you get hooked. So he needs to be super careful unless to the point where the cooldown is going to be ready again. Yeah, we have Napalm, Rain of Vengeance, Stage Dive, Divine Shield, and Tranquility chosen here. And the boss at the top lane still doing 1 level ahead, bit more than that even, but they save the fort at least for now. We were talking a bit about the Korean meta right now, since people are always very interested in it, and one of the things that I want to point out is that the Koreans currently on all of the maps really oh wow, they really showed that creep who was boss. That creep is not gonna mouth off again. Yeah, Anti-Hero had a personal grudge against that archer, and yeah, he never saw that coming. Nice, good job. That's how you keep them in place. Yeah, the Korean meta actually like valuing the Mule very, very highly, which always surprises me a bit, because I think that Mule is a great talent to take on maps like Sky Temple, Haunted Mines, and also on Black Hut Spade, general maps that are where the objectives attack the structures directly. Koreans, at least the games that we've seen so far, seem to take that talent on most of the maps, and usually when you're pushing against a fort or a structure, you try to take that down as fast as you can, especially when you see a mule on the opponent. And yeah, so that's a bit surprising. Here comes the jump! Oh, they had screwed up his stun. Anti-hero, that jump, the Starfall saving everybody though. The Hiruka nearly dying but gets healed as the cooldown is ready on Uther again. They might have to move back from this one, but that would mean that they are going to get cursed. Anti-hero should have another hook up in a second, and there it is, and this time they hit home, and the kill against the Sergeant Hammer again. Yeah, well, we said everything there is to say about Sergeant Hammer against Stitches, and it just shows once those thrusters are down, you're not gonna keep him alive if he gets hooked. I was actually surprised that with the first attempt they weren't able to drop the target immediately, but in that case, Gadamhead was not able to get the proper stun in against the target. There was also ETC jumping in, which of course made things a little bit awkward there, especially with the face melt. It's really difficult to hit that then. But now we have the fort in the mid lane taken on. Sylvanas is moving in. The top fort has been killed. There's another attempt! Oh, the stun is not hitting. Gadamhead not hitting them just now. That's another kill that they could have gotten pretty easily there. If that stun locks him down, then he's not going to be able to escape from the blizzard, and that's all that you need in terms of damage. 4 kills against 0 so far. We're having Evasive Fire, Ice Block, Overflowing Light, Sprint, and Relentless. Pretty self-explanatory. We have on Brightwing sometimes other talents taken, but most of the time it's really Ice Block these days. Another thing that you can see here also is the extra mobility that you get with Sylvanas if you go for the Evasive Fire. It's pretty awesome, so she can get away in like those counters. We have the Overflowing Light, which became the standard talent on Tyrande really on level 13, so you get extra heal in there as well. And of course with with Jitsis going for the fish hook build, you need to go for Relentless. You want to make sure that you're not getting dropped by your opponent too fast, and with there being loot in the place and then also a double stun as we see Uther and ETC in there, you want to make sure that you survive that. Nice aggression at the bot lane, but the 13 talent is now also on the board. Hook missing. Good shoot by Polator. Well done. Having them with cross shot, also relentless on ETC. And just this disable, that black arrow against the keep is amazing to get the most out of the boss, who is just gonna drop that with ease. Very well done here. They could nearly put level 16 into their hands, and if they get that, there's 16. They get 16. They can go for the extra talent, and there it is, the blood for blood already. They're going for Vipolino. Vipolino is down. ETC is dead. The boss is still alive. They're taking the talents. Critterize is there. Malfurion and Sergeant Hammer, they both die. And ESC Gaming is on their way to victory once again. There's the GG already called. Alistar apparently a bit frustrated, and I don't blame him. It's not fun to play Sergeant Hammer against this just yet. LOL versus XD is typing GG as well. Shoots another multi-shot in there, but what can he do? 7 kills against 0, and ESC Gaming is going to finish off the game here. This is game number 2 with a 2-0. They're claiming the series here against their opponents. Vipolino is moving in again, but well, this is going to be it. So congratulations to ESC Gaming winning the match here at the ESL Major League with a 2-0 against the Spanish team LDLC.
Stitches just way too strong. That burst composition that we have from ESC Gaming, they were forced to play just 1 or 2 weeks back, and they did very well with that. Now it's one of those compositions that they actually aim for, that they have in their repertoire, and you could really tell that LDLC didn't really get a good hold on this map. They never really gained any momentum whatsoever. That pick on Sergeant Hammer as their last pick was also a bit weird. If you're going up against a composition that just centers around the idea of stitching hook at the target in, and then just the entire burst damage of the team taking that target out immediately, then Sergeant Hammer is of course always going to be one of the main targets that you aim for if he's in the game. LDLC with that pick, maybe something where they should have adjusted a bit. As it happens, they lose the game, they lose the best of 3, and ESC Gaming with a very, very good start into the season now. The 2-0 against LDLC of course helping them a lot, and the series very dominant by the German team, so congratulations to them. Boys, if you liked and enjoyed the video, make sure that you give it a thumbs up on YouTube, and I'm going to see you soon with more content here on Khaldor TV for Heroes of the Storm. Have a great day and see you soon. Bye bye.